Hello, I'm Jordan Martin from Rebreak News, and today I'll be asking the people of Dundee who they'll be voting for on the Scottish elections on the 6th of May. Who will you be voting for on the 6th of May?
More than likely the SNP. Reason being that, obviously I know that the obvious option is, the obvious topic is independence. Quite supportive of independence myself. I think that any country should be smaller, more concentrated. It means that people have a more of a say within their democracy. So that's probably why I'd be voting for SNP, to give opportunity the chance of independence.
So I'll be voting for Labour because I think they're the party that has the potential to do the most for poverty, and in particular kind of child poverty and drug-related poverty. I don't think the SNP, especially here in Dundee, has done much to tackle drug-related poverty and to help people who are drug users. In addition, I don't think the SNP has really done much to tackle mental health. Like, we have a massive amount of mental health problems, and it's basically its own epidemic in Scotland, and I don't think the SNP has the ability or the will to try and tackle that.
On the 6th of May, I'll be voting for SNP because I want to stay in the EU, and the last time I voted stay in the UK was on the assumption we'll stay in the EU, but we got fooled again there. So I'll be going with the SNP this time. My first vote. My second vote will be going with the Green Party. That's because it's a funny way we've got voting up here. So that'll be my two votes.
I'd probably be voting for Nicola Sturgeon again because of all this animosity going on, everything with the COVID situation, everything. She's doing a perfect job in my eyes, because she's not getting to see her family either, she's not getting to travel distances, and so on and so on. So I think she's doing an absolutely perfect job at the moment. People might vary or differ, but in my eyes, she's doing what she can for our economy and for our country. So, I can't say she could do any more,
So who are you leaning more towards during the coming election?
Well, I'd say it's hard to say, because over lockdown you do a lot of thinking, and you might have one opinion to begin with, but then you come out of that 1 year period that you've been locked up in, and now suddenly you're thinking a bit differently. So I'd say it's quite hard. I would say I was probably a lot more left leaning than I was before, so maybe leaning more SNP side.
I'm going to be voting for SNP in the coming election, mainly just because their ideology is just aligned with mine.
I'm going to be voting for the SNP for independence and just trying to get away from the union. I think they've handled the pandemic quite well, and I think they just deserve another shot to keep going.
I will probably be voting for Green during this election, just because I feel like overall they kind of cover most of the stuff that I would like to see in Parliament.
So how do you think Nicola Sturgeon's managed to run the country with the COVID happening?
On the COVID side, I think she's doing okay. She can't do any worse than Boris, but she's doing okay. She's looking at the country that way. But I've got other views on her running the country with education and finance and that. But the COVID side, she's doing okay.
So yeah, I think it's been the best in the UK, and I think it's been perhaps comparable to quite a few other European countries in terms of how effective it's been. I would have liked to see it be quite a bit faster, especially kind of around October, September. There was times when the scientific consensus was clear that we needed to go back into lockdown, and instead she kind of differed a bit, not as much as down south in England or even in Wales, but still, you could have been quite a bit faster there, and I think that we wouldn't be in such a stricter lockdown right now if it had been a bit faster last year. So decent with how harsh the lockdowns have been, rightly so, but they should have been a bit faster, and we could have stopped the big wave that we saw over winter if she'd been a bit faster there.
I think she should have done a little bit better than what she has done, because obviously sticking to Boris's rules and his regulations, I know we have to do that, but we're a country of our own as well. We've got our own opinion. We can't see our family, and it's very, very hard. If they just done the job at the start, like Boris I'm on about, if he's just done the job at the start, we wouldn't be in this situation. We're coming, we're daily lives now, and it's we're coming our own town centre and no one's here. We can't see our friends. We can't. It's just horrible. It's just devastating, you know.
I mean, I think she's done the best that she can compared to England. I think she's done much better. Yeah, I think she's received some unfair scrutiny to do with, like, recently not giving exact dates when I don't think it's possible to give exact dates. So I actually prefer that she hasn't told us this is when we're going to open up. So I like the way she's handled it.
What's your opinion with Sturgeon handling the COVID situation in Scotland?
I mean, I feel like it's been fairly well handled, to be honest with you. As a politician, she seems to come across as a fairly straight, gives fairly straight answers, doesn't kind of mince her words, and she outlines her decisions. Although, you know, there's always obviously going to be people who like and dislike what she has to say. She outlines things clearly. And without kind of confusion, which I think that maybe sometimes the Conservative government, especially Boris Johnson, can kind of dance around his words a little bit. So I think people appreciate the clarity to which Nicola Sturgeon can discuss matters.
I think she's done a reasonably good job. I think her communication with the public's been strong and her speeches have been good and well articulated. And I like the way she conducts her profession. Obviously, COVID's been a bit of a nightmare, so there's lots of kind of people responding like, oh, getting all angry, but I don't know, I think it's a difficult scenario to manage, and I think she's done a reasonably good job.
I feel like compared to Boris Johnson anyways, she's had a much sort of stricter approach, and she's just planned it much better, and it's not been a case of like you know, like things will be open by this date, so and so, and then they're just not. Whereas with England and such, it seems like that's the case like every other month. I just think she's just a lot stricter with it and has a much better plan.
Yeah, I do. I think obviously not everything's been perfect, but what can you do, really? Nobody was ever going to know this is coming. So I think what they have done, and just being a bit more honest, and she's up every day on TV, I think she's represented the party really well.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.